Hey guys, thanks for watching Precision Rifle Network. Joel here. It is the 4th of July weekend, so I wanted to wish you guys all a happy holiday on the 4th of July. Go out and be free and celebrate it however you choose. As for me, I'm getting together with some friends this weekend. A guy in the neighborhood always buys like thousands of dollars worth of fireworks and sets them off at his place, and he invites people over, so that's what we're doing. But today, I am going to be showing you all about Battlefield Zeros on your AR type gas guns. So as we get started, what I'm planning on doing today is I've got a brand new 5.56 gas gun from CMMG. It's one of their Mark IVs, and I need a Battlefield Zero on it. I've just got a red dot up on top. And so where this video is coming from is the idea that, you know, back when I was in law enforcement, we did a 50-yard zero, and it kind of corresponded out to like a 200 or 250-yard secondary zero. The Marine Corps, I believe, still uses 36 yards, which then corresponds to about 300 yards. So we're going to talk about that today. I'm going to show you how to set up this Battlefield Zero, and we'll go from there. Let's get going. All right, guys, so as we start talking about the Battlefield Zero, you need to understand a few things, right? So the barrel, or the bore of the rifle, is at a certain height, and your optic is at a different height, right? Now, so your line of sight is where your optic is, and your muzzle or your bore is at a different angle, right? So that difference there, where they come out and meet, those two angles where they converge, that is going to be your zero. So for me, I'm going to zero it at 36 yards. I've got a target set up out there. And then the bullet then is going to cross over that on the way up. It's going to cross over that line of sight, and at some point, because of gravity, it's going to fall back down over that exact same line of sight. And that secondary location is going to be kind of my max effective distance. Now, we know 5.56 guys shoot these out to 1,000 yards in competition all the time, but the energy lost and the speed lost, all that kind of thing, makes it not very effective for human or fleshy targets, right? So the max effective distance of a 5.56 or 223, at least according to the military that I've never been in, but I have been in law enforcement, and we kind of had the same thing. It's like you want a certain amount of speed, you want a certain amount of energy. So the Marine Corps uses 36 yards and 300 yards for Battlefield Zero. And that way, they know that their zero aiming point at 36 yards or inside, you know, close quarters type distances is going to be basically spot on, give or take a few inches depending on distance. And again, out at 300 yards, they don't have to adjust their scope at all in order to be able to make those hits. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get our AR here in 5.56 roughly zeroed at 36 yards. And then once I have that, I'm going to move my paper target out to the 300 yard line, and I'm going to fire at the same aiming point, and we're going to see how far off it is from that original zero. It should be a few inches off most likely, and depending on wind it could be off you know, horizontally, but we're going to just play with that and figure that out. The idea is, then if I have a target anywhere from, say, 300 yards on in closer, whether it's a deer or whether, God forbid, it's a human, then I will have something to work off of. That's the point of a Battlefield Zero. So let's get on with it. Alright guys, so here I am at my 36 yard target. I'm going to show you the progression, the groups here in just a minute, and I've decided that I'm not going to put the paper target out at 300 yards. There's actually a big piece of steel out at 300 yards that should give us the simulated size of a fleshy human or deer target, and so we're just going to plink at that. But here's the target as I see it here. So as I came in and I was just kind of establishing my zero, I went to here and then I adjusted down, was trying to figure it out here, but I was still, my aiming point was down here, so just dialing it in, and here's what I'm ending up with right here. So you know, tiny little group at 36 yards, that's to be expected. So then when we stretch it out to 300 yards, I should be point of aim, point of impact. So we're going to find that out on the steel target. All right, guys, our target is now set at 300 yards. It's just a big steel plate that's plenty large enough to represent a deer or a human. And we're just going to listen for the ding, because with this little red dot, I can't really see the target. So we're just going to have to rely on the sound of the impact if we get one. Let's see what it is. Impact. 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 All day long, guys. All right, guys, so I realized I didn't show you the math on here and kind of how that corresponds on a drop data chart. So I'm doing it here at the end in my car where it's air conditioning, and so you're going to see the app on my phone come up, and I'll show you how this works out. So I use the Ballistic ARC app today, and we're going to go to rifle first. You can see the checkbox there. I'm using a 223. If I go into that, I've got my sight height, which is the midsection of my height to the middle of my bore. That's the distance there. You want to make sure that's accurate. And then my zero range is 36 yards. So now as I come back out of here and I go to my drop data chart, you can see the chart come down to the 30 to 40 yard range. We've got 0.2, 0.3 as our zero. The app is just not prepared for you to be zeroing your rifle at 36 yards. Otherwise, it would say perfectly zero. But the point is there, you can see that there's hardly any drop data in there because that's a zero. And then if we come out to 300 yards, you can see at 290 yards, 300 yards, we've got 0 and 0.1. A tenth at that distance is nothing to worry about. So again, it's a rough battlefield zero. So hopefully that helps you guys visualize and see what it's doing actually as far as the drop data is concerned on your chart. The 36 and 300 battlefield zero. Thanks, Marine Corps. And on that, happy 4th of July, guys. Say thanks to somebody who actually fought for our freedom today. Cheers.